Hey, this is Stephanie Treasure, and welcome to this live stream. I am happy to today. You would have been invited to this live stream either via post in the group or via email, and it's all about the 10K month frequency and activation that will call in your goal income with ease and speed. So as you join me, let me know that you're tuning in. Comment below with the word live or replay if you're tuning in live or happen to catch me live, or if you're tuning into the replay, go ahead and comment below accordingly. And thank you so much to the replay viewers for giving this your time. I know that you're not necessarily always able to jump in when I announce these live streams, when I'm going to be going live here, because I know your calendars are filled and you have other things going on. But thank you that you give this your attention and come back here to tune in. So as you do so, just let me know that you did tune in by commenting below with the word hashtag replay. So there's a lot of new faces around here. So welcome to you. Welcome to this space. I'm Stephanie Treasure, your host and founder of the Marketing Strategies to Grow and Scale Group. I'm a coach and marketing strategist, and I work with women coaches and consultants, supporting them to get more visible and step into their next level as it relates to the income they're looking to create. I work with my clients to get them to 10K months and six-figure years in their businesses, using strategies that support them to stand out as an expert, call in more of their targeted leads, and be able to convert more of your clients from your launches. So that's what I do. I love what I do. I've been at this for just under 20 years in terms of my entrepreneurship journey. Worked with all kinds of entrepreneurs and coaches and business owners. I'm working with a group that I'm really excited about supporting right now. And at the end of this talk, I'm going to share with you how you can be a part of a special group that I'm putting together for people who are working on bringing in their 10K months, which is the gateway to your six-figure years. Because once we do it, we get you to 10K months. We map out how to keep that consistent as well as grow it and get you to six-figure years in your business. So if this sounds like something that you want to create, that you want to call in, comment below with the word activate. Comment below with the word activate, okay? I am going to check to make sure that you can hear and see me. And I'm going to tag some folks to let them know where to find this live stream in the group. And then we're going to get going. I actually see that there's two people with me right now. So let me know that you're here. Comment below with the word live or activate. All right, I just commented below with the word activate. So I'll start the comments going there. All right, so we're talking about the 10K month frequency and activation that will call in your goal income with ease and speed. So I wanted to do that because that's one of the things that I work on with my clients. As I mentioned, your first 10K months, and really to get to even six figures for the year, you need to be bringing in $8,333 per month, right? But getting to that 10K month in your business is a gateway to six-figure years, because I find that once my clients and I once I support them to get to the 10K month milestone in their business, and they see that it's possible, they can have and hold and feel and see an actual 10K months. That does a lot of the mindset work for them that will show them that six figures for the year is within their reach. I can see it usually, but sometimes, and you've probably been there too, where it's hard for you to see and to hold a big dream or a big goal that you're looking to bring about. But as you get closer or achieve a milestone and create and develop momentum, then you start to see what's possible. And you're able to, really embody what it would be to achieve that goal. Your mindset catches up with, what you're seeing, and helps you to ride that momentum to get to six figures. Okay. And of course, there's strategy involved. But what I find is that a lot of people have this as their goal, because you're probably with me in terms of knowing that once you achieve your 10K months, you'll most likely be able to do it again, and you can see six figures in sight. But what I find is that sometimes coaches will declare that this is their goal. They want to get to 10K months, and they're doing things like affirmations. They're doing things like setting up the website, setting up the social media platforms. They've created a program that they think is, the kind of program that they need to support their clients with. Although the one that's priced at the level that will get them to 10K months faster, they're not quite selling that. Although it exists on paper, they don't quite sell it. And you're doing all the things. You're trying to psych up the mind. You're trying to have things map out on paper, and you probably have actually done the math. So you know how many programs you need to sell of that high ticket program, or that mid-level, or low ticket, or a combination of all three, or a combination of two, in order to get to 10K months. But for some reason, you can't seem to get there. And what I find is that usually there's something off. There's something off from a mindset standpoint. There's something off as relates to your strategy. There's something off as relates to something else, or the frequency, the feeling, being able to see the vision, to have and hold that vision, that this is possible for you. You're tracking towards it. You're most likely already at 3K months, or 5K months, or 6K months. But for some reason, 10K months seem out of reach. Okay. And so what I want to share with you today is what I'm dubbing, as I mentioned, how to get into that 10K month frequency to be able to activate and call in that goal, which will set you on track for six figures in your business. And that would become your new launch pad to get to multiple six figures and beyond. Okay. I've supported many clients to get to the 10K month mark in their business, and many have gone on to achieve six figures and even multiple six figure years. So what I'm going to share with you today is kind of giving you a sneak peek into what I would share, or what I would lead my clients through in order to, do that frequency litmus test, if you will, to see if all things are on board to get them ready for 10K months, so that we can work on the strategy to get there. Okay. It's not just meditation. It's not just affirmation. It's not just journaling. Those play a role, but there's more to it than that. So if you've set 10K months as your, you have it in sight, and you've set this as a goal for yourself, because you're an ambitious coach who knows that you need to get to that six-figure milestone like on a sprint, right? You want to get there quickly, so that you can get to that multiple six figures in your business, so that what you're bringing in monthly, right? You're either looking at 10K months cash, or 20K months cash, and you're able to pay yourself at or close to 10K months after all expenses and all, or rather before. You're able to pay yourself at 10K months cash, while meeting your expenses and other overheads that you're covering each month in your business. Okay. So talking about the frequency and what will activate that next level income goal, whether it's 10K months, or 8K months, or 15K months or more. Okay. Being able to call in that next level with ease and speed. So the first thing that I find that you need to do, and theoretically, you should be doing this, but do you actually sit down and do it? You probably procrastinate on doing it, or probably do a very lean plan when you know that it should have a little bit more meat to it than this. Could be that there's some mindset things, again, because you can have and hold it. Sitting down and mapping it out just feels very theoretical to you, very academic, and not like you're necessarily mapping out a real plan. Or there could be some, it could be that you're just not quite sure what a plan like that could look like, which is when or an indicator that you may need to engage support to do that. All right. So the first thing is that in order to call in and activate that next level income goal, 10K months or more in your business, is to declare that this is where you're headed. And hear me really closely, because there's one thing to say the affirmation, I'm a 10K month CEO. It's one thing to say, yeah, I'm headed towards 10K months in my business. It's one thing to say it, and another thing to embody it, another thing to make it like a real action plan. Okay. It's another thing to say that this is inevitable. This is where we're headed. Let's just say we're talking construction here. We're building this house. We bought the land. We're building this house. It's not a matter of, oh, I'd love to have this, build this house, but things are in motion. Okay. And even if you haven't made $1 more than you normally make per month. Let's just say you're comfortable at 3K months or 5K months right now, and you can't even see what 5,000 plus one would look like. There's still a way for you to embody it and declare it and know that you're headed to 10K months, even without seeing the way. Okay. So it's really with conviction declaring, whether to team and or yourself, that this is where we're headed. You're the CEO of this business and you are getting it, you are taking it to that next level of 10K months in your business. With that in mind, you need to map it out. You need to reverse engineer it. If 10K months is the goal, and that's what we're looking at, that's the monthly run rate that you're working towards. Okay, mapping it out, what does it look like? What are your offers and what is the pricing of those offers? What is your messaging? What is the niche to whom you're selling? What is the marketing that you'll have to put in place? What are the launches that you have to create? And what are the targets for those launches that's going to get you to 10K months? Okay? When you really decide that this is what you're looking to achieve, this is where you're headed, this is the goal, you sit down and you map it out, you run the numbers. You run the numbers, which, it's easy to say, yeah, we just sell, 5 units of the 5K program, or what, 7 units of the 5K program with the payment plan will be easily at 10K months, right? But running the numbers is one thing, all right? So what is the messaging that's going to get us there? Or what is rather the offers and the pricing? Based on the offer, what's the messaging? Who wants this offer? Who is the niche that we're going to be focused on? What is the marketing that we need to do to get this person on board? And what is the launch that we're going to have to execute to get these people or these persons on board? Okay, so really the first part of frequency is really embodying that this is what we're doing. It's non-negotiable. It's not, I hope we get to 10K month. It's a slight shift, right? A very subtle shift, but you'll feel the difference. Think of something that you've said or declared outside of business where you were like, all right, so yeah, we're losing. The doctor said I need to lose 20 pounds, so that's what we're doing. As opposed to, wow, I wish I could shed 20 pounds right now, right? There's a subtle difference, but it's a difference. And you can feel it when you really declare it and say it, that this is where we're headed. And so we're mapping out the plan to achieve it. We're not going to be afraid of the numbers or afraid of the putting the offers out there, how we're going to do it. We're going to map it out first, and then we'll figure out the how, which is going to lead me to point number 2. So having declared that this is where you're headed, this is what the company is tracking to, this is what we're determined to achieve, okay? Then you need to figure out how we're going to do this, okay? Knowing your business, knowing your SWOT analysis, your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, what's working for you, what's your advantage, where you're weak, what's an opportunity that you haven't leveraged, and what's a threat that you need to be aware of, right? So based on where you're headed, what do we need, where do we need to, what do we need to strengthen, what do we need to leverage, what do we need to, exploit as it relates to opportunities, okay? So if it means that, let's just say, for instance, just as an example here, that you have discovered or decided that you want to leverage advertising to get you there. All right. So we're getting to this milestone. We're going to utilize ads. What needs to happen in terms of, if you don't know ads, then we need to engage an ads agency. So let's start researching ads agency, book some calls on the calendar, have those conversations so that we know what kind of budget we're working with. And then we look how to decide how to finance that budget. Okay, if you have decided that we're going to get there by really amplifying and up leveling our sales strategy. And last time you checked, if you were to run the numbers for the last few sales that you had or launches that you did, and you were falling short of the targets, then there's a weakness as it relates to sales. So what do we need to do? We need to get somebody, either get a sales person on board or engage a sales coach who can show us or school you on some strategies that work to bring in better sales, right? So that you can meet your launch and sales targets to be at 10K months. Okay, how can you sharpen the saw? How can you, what can you do to increase conversions if the issue, as you've identified, is where there's a downfall, there's a loophole where sales is just not as efficient as it could be. Conversions are looking like 1%, and we need them at 3 to 5%, right? If we're talking launch numbers, if we're talking one-on-one calls, you're converting at 20% instead of 80%. Okay, so it means either getting a launch strategist on board or getting a sales strategist on board. If that's the case, start talking to some people, find out what their success rate is. If the way that you do business is a fit, the way that they do business is a fit for you, what the budget is and how you're going to finance it. That's heading towards a goal that you want to achieve with conviction, with embodiment that this is where we're headed, with the frequency that yes, this is not a prayer, this is not a wish, this is a goal, this is a target. And what do we do as CEOs? We identify the targets, and then we identify what needs to happen to achieve said targets. Okay, that's getting into the 10K month frequency. We're not just going to meditate it into being or journal it into being. We're going to put action and energy and investment of time and money towards it. Okay. The one thing I had here just as a note to drive home my point, I'll just say it here, is when you are committed to a certain outcome, you get behind it and put the things in place that's needed to support it. So again, whether that means getting an ads agency on board, getting a sales strategist on board, or a launch strategist on board, or a sales person on board to help you with sales, knowing that you may need to pay them a stipend, then a commission or full commission, whatever the case might be. We're working towards optimizing sales. So we're doing what it takes to make that happen, right? To get the outcome, which is 10K months or plus 10K plus months in your business. All right. Third point is you want to audit your mindset readiness for 5-figure months and bring it on track. Is your mindset ready for 10K months? Okay. Can you visualize it? Can you see it? Can you kind of keep your nervous system in the place where it's not shying away from opportunities, it's not causing you to self-sabotage? can you keep distractions at bay? Can you be disciplined enough to stay the course? Can you be strong enough or resilient enough to know that, yeah, there's some risks that's going to come with accomplishing this goal, some risks that we're going to have to take, or I'm going to have to take as a CEO, but this is where we're headed. This is how we're going to do it. I believe in the plan. I believe the company, in the company's goods and services or products or programs or offers. I believe in the results it gets the clients, and I know that we can get there. So with that, the next logical step is to invest in this salesperson, invest in the ads agency, or invest in the sales or launch or marketing strategist. So that's what we need to do. It is a risk, but there's no reward without risk. Okay, I heard somebody say recently, the biggest risk for entrepreneurs is to take no risk at all, right? So is your mindset ready for what it means to embody this, to keep distractions at bay, to take the necessary risks, to put yourself out there, to believe in this outcome, come what may, no matter how many no's you get? Is your mindset calibrated so that it just rides the waves of the ups and downs, the no's, the yeses, the launches, the feedback from your launches that tells you that, something's wrong here, but I'm going to figure this out because we're headed towards 10K months. Okay, so audit to see if your mindset is ready for that. And if it's not, how can you get it ready? What kind of tools can you implement? This is where the meditation or journaling or tapping or mirror work, some other modalities. This is where those things come into play, whatever can support your mind, support your nervous system in order to get you on track to achieving the result that you're going after and not be sabotaged or held back or kind of have your mindset put a monkey wrench in things and keep you away from achieving that goal. Okay. Fourth point, and we're talking again, just a reminder about the 10K month frequency and activation that will call in your goal income with ease and speed. So the fourth point is to audit your circle and get in the room with people who are at this same frequency or higher. Audit your circle. That is the people you're spending the most time with, right? And make sure that you're in the room already, or endeavor to get in the room with the people who are operating at this frequency where they're either already calling in 5-figure months in their businesses, or they're going after this goal with the vigor, intention, the investment as you have done, the time, the energy, the frequency, all of the things. They're going at that fast and furiously, right? And with you in that same circle with them, right? As they say, a rising tide lifts all boats, right? That will encourage you all in that circle to up level towards that next level. Whether one person is aiming to on their way from 15K months to 20K months, one is on their way from 8K months to 10K months, or from 5K months to 10K months, etc. Right? You want to make sure that you're in frequency, in circle, in community. It could mean setting up leveraging accountability partners or partner or accountability circles. And it could also mean another investment in a high-level networking group or a high-level or a mastermind or high-level group program, okay? Because you tend to find the people who are playing at this level they tend to be invested or vested in their success. And so you're gonna find yourself leveraging and getting more value from the groups where everybody invested something to be there, as opposed to a groups where um, there was no investment on the table, or it's people who are not at the level where you're headed. Okay, you want to get into frequency with people who are going after big things. So audit your circle carefully. And it doesn't mean, let me be clear, it doesn't mean cutting off friendships. It doesn't mean not spending time with people that you love who are not business owners or who are not at 10K months in their business, whether personally or professionally, or professionally in terms of career-wise or professionally in terms of their business. But it means being very intentional to make sure that a lot of your time, or that you carve out time each week to be in community, to be in space, to be in frequency with the people who are at this level, 5-figure months in their business, or tracking there. Okay, so that's the fourth point that I want to say, and not a point, but kind of closely related to this. I said audit your circle to make sure that you're in the room with people who are at the same frequency or higher, but you also want to audit your surroundings. Take a good hard look at yourself, at your environment. Is it positioned? Is it poised? Does it signify or represent who you are and who you're becoming as you step into this next level as an entrepreneur? Okay. How do things look around you? Because that your environment also affects your frequency. And again, we want to keep your frequency at the level of somebody who is seriously calling in their next level income. And your next level income will possibly require a next level you, a newer you, a different you, one who doesn't have an environment that resembles your current, one who has friends that may not look like your longtime friends or other friends who are not in business, but friends and colleagues who look like the type that are passionate about their business and the work that they do. And they're unapologetically going after big things, knowing that they want to help more people, they want to grow, they want to scale. And so they're moving fast and furiously and investing and getting in community and going to events and showing up in ways that it's just inevitable that they're going to call in those 10K, 15K, 20K months in their businesses. Okay, one of my previous clients, we had a chat recently, or at least an exchange over Messenger, where she's in the room right now, and in a room meaning in a networking, I wouldn't say it's only a networking organization, but she's in an organization that a few of my colleagues are in as well. And this is a paid organization. It's not, doesn't offer coaching. It's a way to network. It's a way to be in the room with other people and to have access to certain opportunities that you wouldn't normally have had access to. And she said that just from being in this room, she's doing other things because it doesn't excuse you doing strategy, right? Strategy is a key part of this. And that was point number one in this live stream. But because of what she's doing in terms of strategy and how is she showing up in the mindset work and the work that she did to audit her space, audit her circle, the rooms that she was in, she's at a place right now where she has her eyes, she's going to close out this month at 15K plus, right? Coming from below 10K per month, right? Actually, I think just below 5K per month, right? When we last worked together. So you want to make sure, like I said, that you check your circle and check your environment and make sure that it resembles or get it to a place where you're calibrating at a level of somebody who is a CEO that's at 10K months and 6-figure years in your business. Does that make sense? Comment below, activate. If you are hearing me on this, especially if you're watching the replay, and yes, you can see where these points will have you activating 10K months in your business. And because that's where you want to be tracking, that's where you are headed, you will embody these or take note of these to activate that next level for your business in your journey as well. Okay, so comment below with the word activate. Hi, Andrea. Thank you for joining me live. Comment below with the word activate. I'll put it again. I know I already commented with activate. All right, so I want to share a special experience with you. This week, I've opened up a few spots. At last count, I believe it's 8 spots to have conversations with those of you in this community who want to get on track to 10K months in your business. All right. You have declared it somewhat. Maybe after hearing this, you're thinking to yourself, maybe I haven't really declared it. Maybe I've been thinking about 10K months as a nice to have, 6-figure years as a, hopefully I'll get there soon, right? But you haven't necessarily embodied with certainty as the CEO that you are, right? Because even as a coach, you're CEO first, okay? And so you want to get on track. You want to get on the frequency, on the level of somebody who can have and hold and see 10K months in sight and be able to get there with ease and speed. Because once you embody this, once you implement the strategies, once you get on the wavelength that I've shared with you through the points in this live stream, it can happen pretty quickly, okay? Because it's a subtle shift, really. You've called it in, you're here, you're working with clients, you're just not working with them either at the price point or the level or in the numbers that you'd like to work with them that would have you bringing in and seeing 10K months easily and consistently, right? So if that's you, right, I want to talk to you. We should definitely talk. What I'm doing in these, and I'm calling these 10K roadmap sessions, all right? And what we're doing is I'm looking at all that you're doing, how you're bringing in clients, what you're pricing them at, what your messaging is, what your niche is, how you're selling your programs, and what your marketing looks like, because all those things are indeed essential, okay? Then I'll show you high level what you need to be looking at, what you need to be paying attention to, because we can be our own blind spots. You're probably, I mentioned earlier that you want to do, some of you have a business background, you may have heard of this, a SWOT analysis, looking at your business strengths, weaknesses, which are usually internal, as well as your opportunities and your threats, which are usually external. But you probably can't see what that is. You probably can't lay a finger on them because you're close to your problem. You're kind of married to your current situation, and you can't see past that. That's where I come in. I uncover the blind spots. I unveil the opportunities that my clients didn't even know were there before I started working with them. But I was able to open the curtains and show you that it exists and get you on track to leveraging and exploiting those opportunities so that you can achieve your goal. So I'll be sharing with you, mapping out what you need to be paying attention to, where your strengths and opportunities lie in order to bring about 10K months with ease and speed. Make sense? So, and then we will take a transparent look at what it will be like for us to work together to help you to achieve that level in your business. All right. I am working with a few determined action takers, no excuse makers, persons that, yes, you have declared 10K months. And if you are honest, you've meditated on it, you've journaled it, it's probably on your vision board, it's probably posted on your computer, but it's probably been there for some time. It probably has been the vision for some time, and somehow you can't seem to get there. All right. So you know that you need some support. So I'll share with you how I'm working with a few coaches right now to accomplish this milestone, to be able to achieve it consistently as well as be able to call in 6 figures in income, 100K in income in a 12-month period of time. Okay, so we'll have this conversation. We'll look at how we can work together, and I'll tell you what the details of that container look like. Okay, so this is you really embodying point number 1 and facing head on that, look, we're heading to 10K months. That's non-negotiable, right? Our next milestone, our or I, right? If you don't have a team, you know that my next milestone is 10K months in my business, right? So what is it going to take to get there? I want to have this 10K roadmap session to identify what it is. And then I want to talk about, all right, what would it look like for Stephanie to take me there, as she has taken other clients to this milestone in the past? What would that look like in terms of, what would what would I be coaching you on? What would we be implementing? How often will we meet? What you'll have access to in terms of training, and what the investment will look like. Okay, and what you can expect at certain milestone markers at 30 days in, 60 days in, 90 days in. All right. So not shying away from the conversation, but facing it head on and seeing, all right, so this is what we're looking at. This is what Stephanie said. This is what the investment is. How can I make this happen, right? Let's have a heart-to-heart, one-on-one talk about that at the end of our time together, okay? So our time together will be about 30 to 40 minutes. And again, this is completely free, and we're going to talk about next steps, okay? So reach out to me here or comment below with 10K roadmap. Comment below with 10K roadmap. And Facebook did a little thing funny there. Okay, so comment below with 10K roadmap, or just reach out to me privately, all right? And we will set up some time, get a time on the calendar for us to have a talk, have a call, and we will take it from there, all right? So I hope you found this valuable and helpful. I hope this gave you some inspiration. I hope you're feeling more, feeling into what I shared as it relates to how you can call in 10K months in your business and really be able to see and have and hold it and know that it's possible for you too. I know this and I feel this for you, right? Your belief may not have caught up just yet, but that's why this call is going to be good for you, because we'll run the numbers, and I'll also show you how I can support you to do that and get you into not just a frequency, but get you into actually bringing this next milestone in. All right. So let's I feel like my mic. Okay, it's still there. All right. So comment below with 10K roadmap, or reach out to me privately and we will be in touch. I can't wait to support you and talk to you, and I will see you soon. Bye.